One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today.
Morning. I'm going to make this quick. Not going to be on too long. But I do want to talk about something that if you are not aware of it, you're living under a rock. And it is division is profitable. And it was just a matter of time before it was going to be relationships' turn, right? Before men and women were going to enter into the equation. It was just a matter of time. And even though, feminism has been around for 70 plus years, it has been ramping up. We are in fourth wave feminism now. And we are starting to see, I think it's really interesting online that there is an entire, how would I describe it? There's this percentage of women who go online and they hate on men, right? They make these videos hating on men, talking about how, and it's really funny to me because I'm like, okay, this is your whole posture, making these videos about how you don't care about men, you don't care about the male loneliness, and all of that, but you're making a video about it. So to me, I'm like, okay, but that's their whole posture, is hating on men and how awful men are and how dangerous men are and the patriarchy and all of this stuff. Like that's their whole identity. So for someone that doesn't care about this, you talk about it a lot. Okay. And then we saw it bleed over into married women. This is when it's getting dangerous. So you have married women on TikTok that the only reason why they exist is to publicly criticize their husbands. Like, huh? What is really going on? They make these videos publicly criticizing their husbands or talking about what they don't do for their husbands. And it's a very dangerous place that we find ourselves in today. We have to be really, really careful because there are women out here playing with fire. Like, can I be honest? Women are out here playing with fire. Like you are going to blow up your entire situation for some clout online. It could never be me. It could never be me. It could never be me. So just understand that there is a whole thing going on right now that is set out to divide us, and it's just men and women's turn. And just like red pill rhetoric, that has been around for years. That is not something that's new. That's been around for years, but again, it's ramping up and ramping up and ramping up. And so now we're in this place where instead of it just being about evolutionary psychology and talking about the differences between men and women, which aren't bad, right? We're not demonizing the differences. We're just pointing them out. We're just saying this is how men differ from women. This is how women differ from men. That is not innately bad or wrong, but it has now been turned into this demonization of women or demonization of men. Instead of just seeing it as the science that it is, instead of just seeing that, okay, male nature and female nature is very different. And we should honor those differences. We should accept and honor those differences. That's what I teach people. We are not going to demonize men for being more stoic, for being less emotionally charged. That isn't a bad thing. We need people in this world like that, just like we need people in this world who are deeply connected to their emotions. And we need people who are feelers. We need people who are carers. But this idea that, now we got to pit men and women against each other. I want you to understand something. There are people out there that are profiting from this narrative. There, lonely people consume more. The fact that there are not more families, there are not more couples buying one home, right? So you got two people having to rent two places or buy two homes, and they need multiple cars, and they need, double the stuff. Someone is profiting somewhere out there. And I really need you to, think critically about this. And why are you falling into so easily? I see people fall into this narrative so easily. It's like puppets, you are so easily manipulated. Don't be so easily manipulated. The reason why my channel exists is to wake women up, to have them critically think and visit the land of logic. I talk about that all the time. I think their feelings and emotions is beautiful. It's their superpower. But sometimes you need to visit the land of logic and rationale. You need to think with the brain that God gave you. Okay? And again, use your superpower. Use it wisely. Women have immense power that they're not really stepping into. They're spending all of their time bashing men, talking bad about men, talking bad about their husbands, keeping some weird narrative alive. Even the research says that the majority of men do not promote rape culture or do not agree with rape and all. The majority of men are not bad men. They're not out here. They're not dangerous men. So, keeping this narrative alive that they live and breathe to oppress women. They're not thinking about y'all like that. They really are not. Y'all are the ones thinking about men and what they could possibly be doing to you or not doing to you. Men, my hand to God, they're not thinking about y'all. They really are not. This whole thing that went down was like, okay, women don't have rights to do X, Y, Z. Oh, I wasn't even something I considered. My wife doesn't need to get a mortgage or get a credit card because I pay for everything. I take care of her. I take care of our kids. What does she need with any of that stuff? I work full time. I'm the one who's buying everything. That's what I think most men are believing. So, yeah, okay. After all their chaos, Jaden, Will, and Camille and Billy Cosby are no longer living together. They all live in separate homes, and I'm sure their split is very costly. Very costly. Someone benefits from women hating men and men hating women. And it's sad that y'all can't see that. And you're like little puppets. You're playing right into their stupid game. I refuse. There is a compliment to my life out there who happens to be a man. There is a man out there that wants to protect and provide, that we fit together like perfect puzzle pieces. We make our lives easier, not harder. So it's just weird to me that we're diving deeper and deeper into this weird narrative. No. And then if you're young, like I'm 57 saying this, if you're young and this is how you're thinking, thank you so much, Miss Court. If you're young and this is how you're thinking, this nihilistic, men are awful and I don't want anything to do with them and they're oppressing me and they're holding me back and holding me down. I'm like, dang, you're not even going to get half of the benefits of all that life has to bring you. Like, you're not going to experience love. You're not going to experience protection, connection, romance, like I said, I thank God every day that I have experienced all of that. Like, I could sit down somewhere right now on a plot of land with some animals and my vegetable garden and be just fine. Like, do you understand? Because I've experienced all of that. I've experienced marriage. I've experienced raising 3 children and staying home with them and breastfeeding them. And I've experienced romance. I've experienced dates. I've experienced all the things. Love, all the things. Okay, protection and all the things. But if you are in your 20s talking like this, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of years to live without love, without romance, and oh Lord, I can't. I can't do it, y'all. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I'm just built different. In my 20s, I knew I was like, there's a man out here for me. There's a family out here for me, and I'm gonna get it. And that's one of the things that I do tell women a lot, and they hate when I say it. But if I'm being honest, if you want it bad enough, you're going to have it, because that was my attitude. I was not going to be denied my husband and my children. That wasn't going to happen. So women walking around, well, I want that. I want that. Really? Do you? How bad do you really want it? That's what you got to ask yourself. How bad do you really want it? Because when I tell y'all I really wanted it bad, I really wanted it bad. Like, I was not going to be denied. I was like, I'm going to find me a husband. I'm going to find me a husband that's going to love and cherish me and take care of me and take care of my kids. No, I was not going to be denied. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So sometimes it make me question, how bad do you want it? Like, what are you truly willing to do to have the thing that you say you want? Really, really think about that. Okay. I definitely understand. Okay. So sometimes I just wonder. I think women lack humility, especially now. They lack a level of humility. They, they say they want it. They say they want it, but there's a whole lot of stuff they won't do to get it. And to me, you don't really want it. You just don't really want it. Sometimes, my mom will say, you work so hard and I see you, pretty much doing stuff in your businesses 7 days a week because I want it. Because I want it, Mom. I will not be denied what I believe is my divine right to the wealth and the prosperity and all the things. All the things. I want all the things. But the difference between me and other people is I'm willing to do something about it. I'm willing to work hard for it. I'm willing to put my blood, sweat, and tears into a thing. And if I'm being honest, most of y'all are not. But sometimes I do question, when women, and I just feel like I can't find anybody. Okay, well, maybe you might have to move. You might have to, I don't know, go to different places and get on some sort of regimen where every week you are out and about and you are meeting people and you are, changing up your style, changing up your hair, changing up I will do whatever I need to do to get results. That's the difference between me and a lot of people. I will do whatever I need to do to get the results I want. Period, point blank. And I'll stay on my knees praying. But I will actually get up off my knees and do something. So sometimes I say to well, okay, maybe you need to move. Maybe you need to try this. Maybe you need to do that. Maybe you need to go here. Maybe you need to change style. Maybe you need to lose weight. I give them all the things. Try something different to get different results. But y'all, this is the wake-up call. And like I said, I just think I do. When I'm praying at night, I thank God every day. Thank you for the loves I've had in my life. Thank you for the men that I've loved and that have loved me. Thank you for the masculinity that has been ever present in my life from the day I was born. Thank you for showing me what healthy masculinity looks like. Thank you for the romance. Thank you for all of the things that I've experienced in the male-female intersex dynamic. Because I could sit down. I could completely sit down and be okay. That's not a cope. That's just reality. But for a 20-something-year-old woman, an early 30s-year-old woman, never been married, never had any children. I have a client I just started seeing, 30 years old, never been in a relationship. 30 years old, never been in a relationship. Now look, and this what I ask y'all, this how my mind work, right? This is why I need help, because this is how my mind work. I said, are you still a virgin? And I already knew the answer to that question. I said, are you still a virgin? She said, well, no, I've been in some situations. I was in a situation with a guy, that, is a known player. So you your own worst enemy. But yeah, women like that, they can't just sit down and truly be happy. They can't. because the longing, the hunger, that hunger has been quenched in me to some degree. There's a little bit of hunger. But to be honest, it's so small that, like I said, I can go the rest of my life without having sex. I can go the rest of my life without remarrying, having sex with a man, and just sit down and be just fine. Because there's a little bit of hunger. It ain't a huge fire. It ain't a huge bonfire. But you got women in their 20s and 30s, it's a bonfire. It's a hunger. They not going to sit down and abstain. They not going to sit down and be truly happy for real. Okay, that's a lie. They fooling themselves. Okay, that ain't going to happen. Okay, so you got to make some changes. You got to make some course corrections. Because that hunger, it's real. I remember it. I remember in my 20s, I was like, girl, I gotta find me a husband. I gotta find me a husband. I gotta get me. I was like, no, I will not be denied. Okay. And that's exactly what I did. Okay. Crazy American t-shirt says, Anita, my daughter is currently a student at PV and she went to switch her major to psychology. You are the only person to come to mind. She sounds sincere about it and mentioned you and told her to contact you. Yeah, she sure can. She can reach out to me through Instagram or email me at info@betterlovemovement.com. She sure can. And one thing about going into psychology, you will understand yourself. You will understand your family members, your friends better. You will be able to help people to understand themselves. And you'll always have a job, especially now. Especially now. This field is exploding. Because more and more people are coming online that are insecurely attached, that are traumatized, that are wounded, that have CPTSD. And it's just, it's an epidemic. It's an epidemic of people with problems and mental health conditions. It's mind altering. It's absolutely mind altering how many people have problems and mental health conditions today. And some of it is our culture. Some of it is the world that we live in. But here's what's funny. It's not to say that the world has not been harder. Like, the world has been harder, y'all. We've been at war. And black folks, we've experienced, oh my God, slavery and Jim Crow and segregation. And I mean, that's pretty rough. Like, I'm about to leave my car and go into Lidl. And ain't no white person gonna spit on me. Ain't no white person gonna call me the N-word or try to, that has not happened in my 57 years. Okay? Nothing bad is gonna happen to me walking around as a black woman. So we have lived through harder things. And yet, it's like people are weaker, or I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. People are fragile and weak and lack capacity for even the simplest of things. It's like, I don't understand it, y'all. I don't understand it, because we have been through harder times. We've been through the Great Depression. We've been through plagues. We've been through so much. And yet it's like, okay, we have this technology and we have, all of these beautiful, wonderful things, electricity and water and all these wonderful things. And yet people just cannot cope. I cannot cope. I can't. I am so anxious. I am so depressed. Like, if I hear another person say they have depression with anxiety, and it's always them too. How you going to be down and up? How you going to, y'all, I know I'm wrong. How you going to be low and high? Like, pick one. Pick a struggle. Oh, my God. And then I got ADHD. And then I got bipolar. And then I got this. And then I got that. And I'm just like, wow, 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 wow. And they very closely identify. Instead of seeing it as, okay, this is a symptom of something. It could be lifestyle. It could be, not sleeping well, not eating right, not getting enough sun, not having enough socialization. They identify, they stamp that label on themselves forever. Forever. And then that's who they are forever. And I'm like, no, you'll go through ups and downs. You do have to learn how to cope. You do have to learn how to deal with the uncertainty of life. I told a client this just the other day. My goal is to increase your capacity for uncertainty, because that is what I'm certain of, that life is uncertain. You will not know everything. There are no guarantees. There's nothing in this world other than you're going to die one day, Like, that is truly certain. So, yeah, depending on the day, depending on the time, depending on where, when, how, all the things. Anything could happen. Great things could happen. Not so great things could happen. I've lived long enough to tell you this from experience. Things that I thought would never happen, happened. And things that I thought for sure were going to happen, never happened. And I was like, whoo. So we got to learn how to deal with life. But let me tell you what isn't helpful. To not have a love in your life, to not have someone that loves you and cares about you genuinely and has your back and cares about, your health and your mental health and, your money situations and just all the things going on in your life. That is life changing to know that, okay, something good happens. I got somebody I want to call. Something bad happens. I got somebody I want to call. Like, you're literally going to cut out half of what could be the happiest thing to ever happen to you. You're just going to cut that out because you hate the other gender, the other sex. That's so weird to me. So, y'all, I don't know. We're not doing good. This whole, I don't need anybody and I'm independent and I'm autonomous and I don't need people. That's weird to me. And then now people are taking it so far as to not even have friendships. So you don't have a significant other. You don't have friendships. You're like this antisocial, weird person walking around at work that can't nobody talk to. It's just weird. It's getting really weird. Okay? That's not good. That's not healthy. And then this thing that women got going on now, it's like the greatest powers that they have as a feminine woman. Oh, that's seen as a weakness now. Your empathy, your compassion, your ability to care for others and put yourself in other people's shoes. Oh, no. That's seen as a weakness. It's all about who can care less. That's why this whole, content about, I don't care about men. Don't nobody care. I had a girl show up on my platform when I talked about something related to that. Oh, don't nobody care about men and their problems. Baby, this is not the place for you. So let me see you to the door. We're not going to do that over here. Okay? And we had a little exchange and I was like, hey, clearly something's going on because you left this comment. So if you don't care about men or whatever they got going on, why would you? Because keep this in mind. And this, I want women to hear me clearly. The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. So the fact that many of these women are fueled by hate, there is energy in these comments. There's energy in these videos. You're not indifferent because this video wouldn't exist. Okay? There are tons of subjects. And if y'all know me and you know my platform, there's tons of subjects that I do not make videos about because I am indifferent. I don't care. Okay? It doesn't matter to me. That is what true it doesn't matter looks like. But the fact that y'all keep talking and talking and talking about it and creating content and all this other dumb stuff, you're giving it energy. You're giving it energy and you're fueling this hate. And then the men have to respond. They have to respond to all the hate that you're giving them. And here we go. And what y'all don't even realize is, like I said, there are people out there who benefit from this type of vitriol. They're like, yeah, this is great. I mean, look at all the stuff that we need to buy to feel better. Look at the trips we need to go on. Look at the bags and the shoes and the this and the that. And the same with the men. Oh, I've got this fancy house. Oh, I've got this great car. Oh, I've got these toys. I've got guns and I've got video games and I've got this and I've got that. Just all trying to fill a hole, right? I believe every person has a God-shaped hole in them. And I believe every person has a opposite sex person hole in them. That yes, they want to love and be loved. They want to care and be cared for. They want to know that someone is there, doing life with them and witnessing their life. And they're that one person. Wow, this one person above all others, like, really rides for me. Like, they're really down for me. It's a magical thing. And if you've never experienced it, maybe that's why they're going so hard like this, because I guess you don't know what you're missing. But I can tell you for sure, as someone who's experienced it many times, like, it's magical. It is amazing. It is amazing. And you're missing out. And this is to the men and the women. There are men out there who are like, oh, I never been in love. I don't want no woman. It ain't nothing but trouble and blah, blah, blah. You've never had a really great one. You've never had a wonderful woman rub your shoulders, rub your back, cook homemade meals for you, kiss your bald head, really listen to you, look at you with loving eyes, admire you, respect you, right? You've never experienced that. It's magical. And what I keep telling women is they have great influence, but they don't want to use feminine power. They want to be men. They want to do what men do. They want to try to strong arm men. I'm going to strong arm him into, liking me and being with me. And, you shouldn't have no preference. That's toxic. And why you say that? Well, they think they're going to strong arm men. And that's not going to work. That's not going to work, ladies. That's just not going to work. Use your feminine power. Use your seduction. Use your feminine power in a good way, not that femme fatale way, in a good way. Okay? Be the softest, sweetest, most compassionate, empathetic version of yourself, right? And allow that man to show up as the strongest version of himself, the most masculine version of himself. It's like magic. It's magic when it comes together. I have experienced it. It is. He said, Asian lady saying, sit back, let me rub feet. Okay. Yeah. But I get it. I talk to other men all the time and they're like, I can't. Like, they're just like, I'm just giving up. I'm just giving up as every day goes by, as every video I watch and every piece of content that I look at. It's just, we're done. I'm giving up. I just can't do that. I just can't do that. And I have to do my part. I do. And I'm never going to give up. I'm not, because I know that God doesn't want that. God does not want women to hate men, and he doesn't want men to hate women. He created us for each other, right? Created Adam, then he gave him a helpmeet. And if we could just get back to basics, if we could just do things that way, oh my gosh, we would be in heaven. What a beautiful world it would be. What a beautiful place it would be. So consider this. Consider that, the division is profitable to someone. Maybe not to you, but some people have told me, the fact that I'm not dating, the fact that I'm not married or in a relationship, I'm able to make more money. I'm able to work whenever I want and do whatever I want and make all this money. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that, because it is easy. Like, I don't have, to cook dinner every night. I don't have to make breakfast every morning. I can spend hours in my studio editing videos, and, that's some of what I'll be doing today and seeing clients. So yeah, I get it. All right, y'all, have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you rocking with me. Continue to do all the things that we do on YouTube, which is like, share, comment, subscribe, become a member. And I hope you have a wonderful day. As always, stay open to love.